It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Baxter Regional Medical Center, providing big city healthcare with a hometown touch. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Thursday, June 27th, 2019. It is 7 a.m.
Whoop, whoop.
And welcome to Down on the Corner program.
We ended up with a beautiful morning, even after a lot of rain last night.
Boy, that storm came through yesterday.
It did.
Wow. Boy, it got
It
really
did.
dark.
It started thundering, and my whole house was shaking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. It was something else. A lot of rain. Anyway, welcome Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with my outstanding director engineer. I've thrown him a couple curveballs.
Don't go there today. Don't go. You have no rights today.
Oh, did you wire the headphones? Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you.
By the way, did you do this? Did you do that?
Oh, by the way,
And-
yeah.
He says, I think I need to get there early.
Yeah, you called me last night. Oh, by the way, we're changing all the camera angles and everything that I set yesterday.
Here's what's going on. Coming up at 7:15, Secretary of State John Thurston is going to log in, and we're going to be talking to John Thurston for 45 minutes by cell phone. That saves him a trip to Mountain Home. You know how wonderful that trip is between Little Rock and Mountain Home. So anyway, John Thurston, Secretary of State, will be joining us about 7:20 this morning. And our panel will be Bob Zadora and my next door neighbor, Mia Batterton.
Hi.
And so we're going to want to introduce her to Secretary of State. And then tomorrow we've got John Dan Kemp, the Chief Justice, Arkansas Supreme Court, along with Associate Justice Sean Womack will be here. And after the show tomorrow, we're going to have a breakfast downtown. So if you want to meet the Chief Justice and one of the Associate Justice, Arkansas Supreme Court, we're going to be at Old Time Restaurant somewhere around 8:15. And so, anyway, welcome Down on the Corner program, brought to you by Baxter Regional Medical Center. Be sure to check out Urgent Care 24/7. Only $69 per visit from your smartphone, tablet, or computer. Get started today. Download the app and enroll. BaxterRegionalCare.com. You go to the App Store on your Apple device or Google Play on your other smartphone devices. Baxter Regional Medical Center. They've got all kinds of things going on. Tobias was here on Tuesday, and they've got this, a 3D imaging where they can. You've seen it though. You were at the donor bank.
Yeah, it's a body laying there, and they can
actually see.
They can give it
the
shots.
anatomy.
They can do everything, and as they do something,
They
they
can
can
watch
put
it.
on the glasses and see 3D inside of what reactions are happening inside.
Really.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it
It
is.
is.
You know, Tobias was there. I said, really, right here in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Baxter Regional Medical Center, the envy of many Midwestern hospitals right here in Mountain Home, Arkansas.
You'd rather them practice on that than on you. So.
You betcha.
There you go.
It is called the practice of medicine.
There you go.
I forgot about that. Oh, I think you remember the MASH show where they had the sign that says MASH, best care anywhere. We need one of those signs, best care anywhere.
It's
for
true.
Baxter
It's
Regional.
true. They
And that helps your business, too.
I talked to Ron Proctor was at a meeting with us, and he was interviewing doctors, trying to, they're always looking to bring people in. And they have a deal that they're going to move the imaging right into the operating room. So if they're doing a stent or something, they can tell where it's at, and if they have a problem, they can fix it like immediately.
I bet that's that same.
And it may be, and they had the guy that he had a heart attack guy that they were going through, and none of their equipment was older than like 5 years. This guy was just blown away. Come to Mountain Home, Arkansas, and find this type and this quality of technology here in our town. So it speaks
Baxter
volumes.
Regional Medical Center, the envy of many Midwestern hospitals. Appreciate their sponsorship of the program right here. They serve about 18 counties, both in Arkansas and Missouri. And I'm enjoying Brewed Awakening coffee. So is Bob Zadora. We got some Brewed Awakening coffee. 3 locations to serve you. Of course, Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, 62 East Plaza, and Bomber Boulevard. Yeah.
Or come by here and get the maximum strength.
We have
version.
the adult dose right here. How's the coffee, Bob?
Just fine.
Yep.
Just fine, Dale. Just fine.
He'll be
I
running
don't know what you're talking about, Bob. I don't know what you're talking about, Dale. This coffee never
Just keep
affects
going,
me.
just keep going,
I don't feel a
Never
thing.
affected
It tastes great. I don't have a problem.
Check out the 3 locations. Brewed Awakening coffee. Best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water, right?
There you go.
There you go. Morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. 29 Roller Funeral Homes to serve you in the state, 1 in Memphis, Tennessee, with all our respect. Right here in Mountain Home, talk to Charlotte, Bruce, Chris, Brad. Who did I leave out? I think we covered everybody. Anybody down there can help. No matter what the situation, emergency situation or not, Roller Funeral Homes. Do your pre-planning today. Like I say, call Bruce, Charlotte, Chris, Brad, anybody can help you. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, once again, more missing children are lighting up Facebook. The student that was at Salt Lake Airport is still missing. Lord, one child missing this morning again in Tennessee is just one thing after another. Lord, children are a gift from God, not just something to abuse or abduct. My prayer today is protect our children and keep evil away from them. That's my prayer. Amen.
Amen.
Morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes.
And now,
Brace yourself.
da, 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 the weather.
What do you think? I've got a Gibson
he's
Les
got-
Paul
he
and an
was good.
amplifier at the house. We could set up. He could do it in heavy metal.
Oh. Leave that to Dale.
Heavy metal to him is a lead-based trumpet.
Yeah.
Morning weather brought to you by the Z Team. Bob and Linda Zadora, right here.
Yes,
For
sir.
all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. RetireToArkansas.net. It's time for the morning look at the White River.
Little foggy.
It's time to let out the fog in Cotter.
We're not going to look right at the river, but I promise you it's there.
It was.
You can see a little
It
bit of the
lightened
river.
up a little bit, but now it's settled back in again. It's pretty thick on the river.
Wow.
With all the rain, all that moisture and everything
my goodness.
else.
Yeah,
and it
just driving in today, it was
Yep.
foggy. Yeah.
So
Well, you're actually looking into Cotter, Arkansas from Marion County over the White River.
Hold
We'll
on,
check
we're
it.
going to bring in the
He's gonna
steel
bring- I was
shot.
gonna say,
bring
bring
in
in the
the-
other
bring
one.
in
Yeah,
This,
there you
this
go.
ain't going to work.
That's what it's
There
supposed
you
to look
go.
like.
That's much better. Thank you.
That's January shot there. It's amazing, though, to watch this day by day by day and the change of the seasons from that basically in January to what we have now with the rain and
Yeah.
the warm weather. Just a beautiful shot. We'll check it here in about 6 or 7 minutes. Be surprised how much the fog will change here in a minute.
We think. We hope.
Yeah.
It's
You-
weather.
you say
we don't
that.
know. We have no
Well, it's
control
cleared
over
up
that.
outside a little bit. You can see a little bit more on Wallace Knob over here. It's clearing up a little bit. Morning weather is brought to you by the Z Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. If you need property, Arkansas, Missouri, residential, whatever it may be, you can cover what from here to there and everywhere. Really.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much if you can hear us,
Reese
see
covers,
us, you know, we're there.
He'll cover Marshall to Mountain View,
Yes.
back up into
It was
Calico
a
Rock,
great-
and then
Reese does such a good job down there. I mean, he really does. He's from there.
Yeah.
He knows the area. He knows the people. So, and we're able to bring that big city, bigger venue of Century 21, hometown touch.
You bet.
And I think that makes a big difference for folks.
You
We
bet.
helped a lot of people.
And once again, looking for listings, 80,000
Oh,
to
always. I mean,
150,
all
on up to
listings. I
quarter
mean,
mil.
whatever. It doesn't
You
matter.
bet. And Linda's a professional stager.
She is.
And so whenever you list your home, Linda can give it that special eye appeal for, ooh, I like that, so
Licensed in Missouri,
yes.
so we cover.
And once again, all my friends in St. Clair County, Illinois, getting ready to retire. Here's the guy you need to call right here, RetireToArkansas.net, 870-405-0793. Morning weather brought to you by the Z Team. Right now, 65 degrees in Mountain Home and Flippin, 66 at Harrison, 65 at Yellow. Salem at 65, Calico Rock at 65, Mountain View at 68, St. Louis at 67, Poplar Bluff, Missouri at 69, 65 at West Plains, 66 in Branson, and 61 in Watford City, North Dakota. Talked to Caleb the other day, and he said, I just now took off my coat. He sent me a video like May
Peeled it
18th.
off.
May 18th. It's like right around Mother's Day. It's snowing,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
and they're working the oil fields. Okay, Anyway, in the national radar this morning, we've got shower activity in the Dakotas down to northeast Nebraska, and then we do have a little bit of shower activity in southeast Missouri, northeast Arkansas, and northwest Tennessee. And we'll get to those here in just a minute. Other shower activity, Washington, Montana, nothing going to bother us right now. But wow, that shower yesterday that came through was really something else. Ready for the Little Rock stop there? Okay. Checking the Little Rock stop right here. We got a flood watch box in the Missouri area, Poplar Bluff, Neelyville, Naylor, around Culin, Campbell, Missouri, places like that. Right now, this is picking up a lot of humidity, so your highways 62, 412 east and west, 65 north-south, and 67, 167 in Arkansas will be okay, but once you get on Highway 67 towards Poplar Bluff, you got some flooding possibilities there because it's pretty flat when you go from Arkansas to Missouri on Highway 67. Interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, 555 in Arkansas look like they're okay right now. Trying to pick up that. Let me hit the Paducah, Kentucky radar. That'll probably pick us up pretty good on that shower activity. Here we go. from just southeast Missouri and the Boot Hill. Man, they're getting a lot of rain, and where you see that flood watch box, it is flat as this tabletop right in this area. This is Dyersburg, Tennessee, back up to Sykes, Missouri, Poplar Bluff area. East of Poplar Bluff is just flat like an ironing board. So, if you spill your Coke out the car window, that can cause a flood in that part of the country. So just got to be careful over there. Western Kentucky, northwestern Tennessee, southern Missouri, right there, affecting Highway 67, Interstate 155, Interstate 55, Interstate 24, and Interstate 57. Take a quick look at the St. Louis area. Looks like they're clear right now. I-70, I-44, and I-55, Cape Girardeau into St. Louis. I-64 east, East St. Louis, Illinois, towards Mount Vernon. You got a shower north of Mount Vernon, but I-70, Vandalia, Effingham, in good shape. Southwest Missouri should be clear. I'm not picking up much at all. A lot of humidity. Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield, looks good there. Kansas City, I-70, no problems there. Flood watch box, southeast Missouri. Looks like we have a severe thunderstorm watch for Minnesota, parts of the Dakotas. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape. A little bit of fog in Texas. 7-day forecast today, patchy fog, mostly sunny, high of 89. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 69. And Friday, 20% chance of showers, high of 89. Boy, they were lowered that print's really, really small there. Friday night, 20% chance of showers, low of 68. Saturday, 20% chance of showers, high of 88. Low Saturday night, 68. 20% on Sunday, 89 the temperature, Sunday and Monday. Summertime is here, folks.
Red, white, and blue this weekend.
Oh, it is.
So you
That's
got
right.
fireworks on Saturday, so 68 will be nice sitting out there.
It's gonna be
Be a
good.
nice night.
Yep.
Yeah, it will.
I forgot about that, yeah. Before you travel, check iDrive Arkansas, and wherever you see the circle X's red or blue, there's going to be a issue here. For instance, on US 71, they have a problem there for just a small amount of distance, about 0.4 of a mile there. And over at the junction of 55, 155 on old US 61, they have a problem there. Check out your route. Check out iDrive Arkansas, Missouri Department of Transportation. We have got the southern part of the state's clearing up along 160 and Highway 60, and we're getting a little bit of clearing on I-29 in the northwest part of the state. Other than that, looking pretty good. Allergy sufferers. Today, 4.4, low to medium. Grasses, plankton, and nettle are your top allergens today. Tomorrow's supposed to be low and medium, 4.2. And so, morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Okay, it's what's transpired now, about 6 or 7 minutes. See if the fog has changed in Cotter. Nope. It got worse.
Nope.
Hey, it's weather.
Can you put a fan up there?
It's going to make a liar out of you every time.
Some days are like that.
Yeah, some days are like
Some days it's kind of cool because you look out and all you can see is the witch's hat, the water tower that's out there, and that's all you can see. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk out there sometimes, isn't it?
Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. Retire to Arkansas.net. Community calendar brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Best breakfast, best lunch in town, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11.
Today is Thursday. We've got the twos for breakfast: 2 pancakes, 2 eggs, 2 sausage, all for only $5.88. Or for lunch, we got one of your favorites: hamburger steak supreme. Half-pound hamburger patty smothered in gravy with cheese and peppers and tomatoes, and the whole works on top. It's excellent.
Yeah.
Comes with 2 sides of roll of cornbread, $6.88.
Oh, we'll be down there tomorrow with Arkansas State Supreme Court Chief Justice Dan Kemp. And
Steak day.
on Steak Day.
Yeah,
wow.
Friday.
And Associate
That's
Justice.
a good
and
day
eggs,
to
or-
go. Yeah.
Steak and eggs? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, tomorrow will be
I'm going to be a
steaks,
little late. I
eggs.
got a closing, so I'm going to be a little late getting there.
You'll make it.
I'll make it.
Yeah, sounds good. Community calendar-wise, let's see, in Lead Hill, would you I love these emails. 4th annual 4th of July auction on Saturday evening, July 6th at Lead Hill Park. Now, this is for the Veterans of Foreign Wars Lead Hill Post 10-417. They've got an auction going on, and it helps to find folks, veterans of foreign wars. But the July 4th live auction is July 6th.
Well, it's for the 4th of July weekend.
Yes.
The holiday.
Yes, right. Yep. Works better.
Well, trying to help the boys out here, okay?
John logged in yet?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh,
he's
good.
he's
Good.
listening to us.
Hello, Mr. Secretary. We'll be with you, man. Real quick. Summer Open House Series at Elmcroft and Mountain Home Saturday, June 29th from 1 to 3. Eat, drink, celebrate summer with us. RSVPs appreciated. Call 870-421-8474. Residents of Elmcroft and Mountain Home enjoy a range of specialized care, services, and amenities. Our top priority is ensuring our residents and families the type of care most appropriate to their individual needs. Once again, Summer Open House Series, June 29th, 1 to 3. Eat, drink, and celebrate. Call 870-421-8474. And hey, how did I do this? We're right on time.
Are we?
Go ahead, jinx yourself.
Wow.
Tomorrow, Muruck Center for
Yes, it
Aging
is.
from 2 to 4.
Yes.
Stop by, see what services they have and what they can do to maybe help you out and help one of your loved ones out, help you out. Great
The
people,
Ruck family will be
great,
there. Is that right,
great
Bob?
deal. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great,
Great,
good friends with them.
great opportunity. Yes,
Great folks, great people. All right, coming up, we got Secretary of State of Arkansas standing by, and so after this break, he'll join us by cell phone. Be right back.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
$7:19, and I want to introduce, first I want to introduce Mia Batterton, sitting right here. Going to be a sophomore student here at Mountain Home High School, very conservative young lady, and I'm just impressed with her poise and her just, the intelligence level. And then she says, "How can anybody vote for a Democrat?" Yes. And of course, Bob Zadora, Scooter Callis over here. And then we want to welcome Secretary of State John Thurston. And
good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary. How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Doing well.
How's everything in God's country?
Oh, we're good. We're good. Yeah, we had a little rain, a little bit of shower activity yesterday, and so I want to introduce you. Of course, you remember Bob Zadora, and right next to me is Mia Batterton. I wanted her to meet our Secretary of State, and
good morning.
Just kind of learning the ropes with some of our politicians. They're going to be here tomorrow. We've got Judge Kemp and Judge Womack from Supreme Court here tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So how you been?
Everything's going well. This is kind of neat. I didn't have to drive up to see you this morning.
Boy, look at all the money I saved you. Taxpayer money.
More importantly, time.
Time, yes. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what's going on?
Well, everything's going well. You know, we just went, came through a session.
Most audio.
In January, and you go straight into a session. Mm-hmm. So for those of us who were elected to a new office, it is really a whirlwind there for about 3 or 4 months. And so, but we got through the session and it went well. The legislators were very kind to this office, and so we were able to hit the ground running once the session ended. And but yeah, everything's going well. We actually worked on a video yesterday that we are going to hopefully put out next month, and it kind of goes over what we have accomplished during this first 6 months. Just kind of update everyone.
Really, that's good. That's good. So right off the bat, we've got success. And for those that don't know, we had a little break in the audio. Were you sworn in on January 1st or was it January 20th?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
You had to ask that. I think it was the 15th.
15th. And then they went into session within, 2 to 3 weeks after that?
Well, actually, it was the next day. I mean, the session starts pretty well immediately after everyone is sworn in. So I don't know how much everyone caught, during the break of the audio there. But, yeah, you're sworn in. You go straight into a session. And but it went well. The legislators were very gracious to this office. There were some changes, and if we have time today, we can talk about some of those changes.
Okay. Let's go over the Office of Secretary of State for me, so she understands, so she knows, and so she's going to be sharing this with some friends. Hey, I'm at Secretary of State of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Because I know you've got people that work with notary publics. They'll come up and do training to renew notary publics. You've got the elections. You've got all kinds of things. Talk about a little bit about the Secretary of State's office.
Sure. The Secretary of State's office, it's one of our 7 constitutional offices. Everyone, pretty well knows the governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, Secretary of State, but there are 7 constitutional offices. The main areas that I'm responsible for is this building that we're in, the Capitol building, the security of this building, elections. I'm the chief election officer in the state. And when people hear that, they first think, well, you must have a really big stick when it comes to elections. Well, I tell people it's not quite as big of a stick as it may sound, because the counties are the ones who really carry out elections. Your county clerks, election commissioners, poll workers, and but they report and certify the results up to the Secretary of State. Of course, we take care of all the voter registration. We do the training on the election equipment and so forth. The Business Commercial Service Division, and that's where notary is in that division. It's when you want to file to do business in Arkansas, become incorporated, LLC, nonprofits, and so forth, you do so in that office. And we have 145 employees, so it's a pretty large operation, and but that's kind of the high points of what we do here.
John, it's Bob. We're getting ready for the next presidential election, and with all of the rigmarole that's going in Washington over the last one, is the state of Arkansas ready for a presidential election and possible other people trying to influence it?
Sure, that's a good question. You know, the media, unfortunately, has created a lot of scare among our citizens. You know, there's a lot of talk about Russia. You know, Russia did attempt to interfere in our voter registration. There was, I think, a couple of states that there was proof that Russia did attempt. They were not successful. No elections or no votes were altered by foreign nations, if you will. You know, our election equipment never goes on the system, never goes on the internet, if you will. So each machine, it's virtually impossible to hack them. I mean, you would have to go to each machine. So we are having briefings with Department of Homeland Security, and it's interesting. This was actually an unclassified briefing, so I can kind of share a little bit that Russia and China, Iran, those are our three main threats, if you will. Russia being the first. I mean, they love messing with us. China loves messing with us, but they only do it to a point because they don't want to affect their economy. And of course, Iran's very limited in their capabilities on how much they can really mess with us here. As far, you know, of course, they enjoy shooting drones down over international waters, but that's another topic. But their main goal is to just to disrupt our society. You know, it's kind of like terrorism. They may not be able to actually invade our country, but if they can create fear, distrust, you know, if they can cause people to doubt our election process, I mean, that could really begin to deteriorate our republic. So, sure. And that's their goal. That is their goal. So I just want people to, you know, when you hear the media, I love the media, don't get me wrong, and not all of it's fake, but there are some stuff out there that's really blown out of proportion.
Really? Now, the Little Rock media treats you pretty good, John?
What was that?
The Little Rock media treats you pretty good? They're pretty fair in Little Rock?
Yeah.
Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 16.
They do pretty good.
Dale, he lives there, okay? They're fine. They're great.
Oh, yeah. Let's get even hot water, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
They do pretty good.
Neil, from a high school student, what do you think of the Russian collusion? What would you say to the secretary about what's your thoughts?
A lot of people are in the dark of what's going on. I don't think many people my age watch the news, so nobody's really aware of what's happening between the countries.
How do we change that? I mean, how do we bring awareness to the younger folks?
That's right. Fortunately, you know, thankfully we have, you know, even though social media has its negative side, it's actually, I think, benefited our society to a degree where news can be shared, and you know, and we're not totally dependent upon a newspaper or the nightly news. That you know, now we're in the information age, if you will. So you can, you know, you can actually look up and find truths and facts about issues. But I would say this, and I said this at a American Legion the other day, and we were talking about this same subject. I said, you know, do some cross-referencing. Mm-hmm. You know, don't just believe one media outlet, if you will, and don't believe when you hear something for the first time. You know, do some cross-referencing, because we are in a very I hate to use the word dark times, but we are in a time where there's so many voices out there. So you got to be able to distinguish between you know, what's real and what's true. And that really falls on the individual to do that.
To do that follow-up. Bob, get something else?
So I was thinking, John, when you took over as Secretary of State, it was an easier transition than it was from your last job when you took over from the other party and the whole thing had to be reorganized. I would think that this went a little easier for you, coming with your predecessor doing the job that he did. And
let me remind folks that you were land commissioner before Secretary of State. You were commissioner of lands in Arkansas, then came in Secretary of State's office. For folks that don't know.
That's right. I was elected land commissioner in 2010. I was there for 8 years, and I was the first Republican elected to that office. So you had an office that had been, I guess you could say, occupied or by a one particular party. So I was the first Republican elected. Now, I wasn't the first Republican. It's interesting that back, during Reconstruction, there was a Republican in office in the land commissioner's office, but once after Reconstruction and a little bit about the history, then it was Democrat from there on out. But yeah, it's been a great transition. Things are going really, really well. Martin did an excellent job. He's an engineer by trade, and a lot of the things that he accomplished here, people may not really get to see or get to notice because there were things that had to do with the building. They were, of course, election equipment. He was very involved, or he was a big part of the reason that we have 54 counties that have the new equipment. And so I'm happy. I have the opportunity that to help the other 21 receive their equipment, and we have some good news. We do have some funding for that. So, but yeah, Mark did a great job.
And I know the Marion County thanks you for the equipment that they received as well. It was they were good, like getting ready to go to tablets and chisels and stone. I mean, the new stuff has worked much better for them. I know that.
That's right.
Now, you're getting ready for the census? It's coming up. You're one of the officers that's going to be in charge of that?
That's right. The census will take place next year and in 2021. And we've talked about this before, I think, on your show. Redistricting will take place here in the state of Arkansas, where we will redraw our federal lines, our congressional lines, our state House and Senate, and even at the JP level, those lines will be redrawn as well. So, yeah, things are going well. We're just waiting to see where the numbers, where everybody's living. Northwest Arkansas, your area is growing some, but especially Northwest Arkansas, they will probably pick up 2 representatives, possibly. And maybe another Senate seat up in that area.
Yeah. Really?
Sure.
Wow. In Northwest Arkansas?
Yeah.
Wow.
You bet.
Yeah.
Let's hold that thought, take a quick break, visit with Arkansas Secretary of State John Thurston. John, stick around. We'll be right back.
All right.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrub stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Gray's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today. Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Come up on 737, visiting by cell phone with our Secretary of State, John Thurston. And there he's popped back in.
There you go.
And
That was a much better choice, Scooter.
Looking good. And I think Mia's got a question for you. Go ahead.
What are you doing to recruit younger voters?
That is a good question, and it's funny. I just wrote a note down to talk about that because we are having conversations and meeting on how to increase voter registration, and you are right on time. That's awesome. Young people historically they just don't vote, and the first thing you do, you have to be registered. We are pulling some data right now because we're calling it a voter registration campaign, if you will. I want to see at what age, if a person doesn't register by whatever age it is, 30, 25, 40, I don't know the number, we're trying to do the research, that they typically won't register. So we're going to focus our efforts on the age groups that, if we get them to register by whatever age, then they're likely, we're trying to catch them, at the right time. Seniors, we recently, there's a magazine that goes to every senior in Arkansas, and they reached out to us and they said, would you like to buy an ad or something like that? And I said, well, I think so, and got a little more information on what that magazine is about and such. But they're going to put an insert in that magazine, and it's going to go to every senior in Arkansas, and it'll be a tear out, and it will be a voter registration card. And it'll be postage is free. They'll be able to fill it out, mail it in, register to vote, and so we're going to actually, be able to have those in the hands of every senior. So that's something small that we're doing right now, but and we want to do more. I think the main thing we can do is educate our young people.
But that card would be good for anybody, right? So if they gave it to their granddaughter or grandson, that'd work as well.
That's right. It's just a voter registration card, and there'll be information on the back on how to fill it out. So, but yeah, it's a good question. And if you have any ideas, please let me know on what you think we can do to reach the young people and get them to register.
Mr. Secretary, what about the organization of conservative/Republican clubs in our schools? Here it requires like a sponsor. And some people, ooh, that's too hot of a potato to handle. But let's look at the state of Illinois. You've got high taxes. You've got almost just basically abortion on demand. They just legalized recreational marijuana. High taxes, just, you know, it's got to end somewhere. And thank goodness we're in a conservative red state here where we're not putting up with a lot of that stuff. How do we educate our 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds before they register at age 18? It's like, we can't just have free health care. We just can't eliminate $1.4 trillion in college loan debt. If we're going to do colleges, why not home loans? Why not car loans? I mean, why start, you know, it just goes on. And so when do we get back to reality, and how do we teach reality to our younger folks? And I admire Mia here because she's got her head on straight. She knows what's going on, and that's why she's sitting here. I wanted her to meet you and to hear straight from you some of these ideas.
Sure. Boy, that's a tough question, boy. That might take us a little while because it's almost, that's something you almost can't even really put your hands on. It kind of goes back to, you know, a lot of people think that government dictates a society, if you will. We think that the direction that a society goes begins in government, but it doesn't. Government is a reflection of our society. And so I think it begins in our churches. You know, I think our churches need to be more active. You know, the separation of church and state doesn't exist in my mind, or I haven't found it in the Constitution. I think families, you know, need to be more engaged. You know, it goes back to the family, it kind of goes back to community. But, you know, something like, you know, like you mentioned, taxes and entitlement programs, I really would like to see some classes required for our kids, stuff like economics, you know.
Back to the basics.
John, do you think if we went back to a civics, we used to, when I went through school in the olden days, they taught us civics, and in the course of that, you learned how laws were passed, the different roles of government and what they're supposed to do. And I don't know that the kids are getting that now, and they don't really understand. That's why they can think that things are free. They don't realize the process of how things work, how the taxes go. And over the course of a year, you learned a great deal about that.
That's right. And that's the same thing, you know, not just, you know, civics is probably first, and you're exactly right. But, you know, I kind of bring up the economic classes, micro, macro. You know, anybody that studies economics can see that you can't tax your way and spend your way into prosperity as a nation. And so I think and that's not an ideology. That's not even you know, I'm not trying to convince someone to be conservative or liberal with that. I mean, it's just kind of.
It's a reality. It's not an ideology.
There are laws that kind of govern economics. So if you just kind of study some of those and have our young people, you know, they're required to study geometry. Well, why not throw in macroeconomics in there and let them decide what ideology, where they want to go with that. But, you know, provide them with a little more information when it comes to how the economy and government and taxes, supply and demand, how all those things work.
Yeah. There's more to it than just going to Washington with the printing press and saying, we'll just make more money.
You know, and even right now, Mr. Secretary, it says government funded. Why don't we change it to taxpayer funded? And that's on us adults. You know, well, it's government funded. No, it's taxpayer funded. It's our money they're spending.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when's enough? You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Or I guess the government borrows it, I suppose, too. But then the taxpayer has to pay it back at some point. But, you know, like I say, the society, government is a reflection of society. And maybe, perhaps, you know, my generation, we had it so good. We had it really well. That's, you know, the baby boomers, the folks who went through the Depression, all our World War II veterans and so forth, that didn't have it quite as well as we do. It could be a reflection of maybe my generation younger than me, that we did get a car. Our parents they were able to buy us a car. We didn't have to, share the hot dog on the table at dinner time. If there was enough, food, and
just back to basics. What about we always had a vegetable garden in the backyard.
Right.
And some folks, that's a hobby, but sometimes that was survival.
But those who came from that greatest generation who went through the Depression, and they scrimped and saved and did whatever they could do to make their kids, me, better, and to try to make the next generation a better generation, and they sacrificed that. And I think that's really made the difference in our country. It separates us from the rest of the world in a lot of ways, and we thank God for those people. Oh, bring them in.
That's right. That was our electrician.
Oh. I want to ask you real quick. I've been seeing some things, successes in Arkansas. Is it Lockheed in the southern part of the state? Am I correct on that, Mr. Secretary?
That's right.
It is Lockheed, and where are they located? Are they in El Laredo area or southern Arkansas?
No, you had to ask that. I think it was Camden. I just kind of skimmed over that.
And so they're adding quite a few jobs down there. It looks like pretty good success in southern Arkansas now.
You bet. I mean, South Arkansas has, they're known for their pine trees and the timber business. And so it's good to kind of, to get some more factories down that way. And it's good stuff. It was good news.
Now, you signed the building permits and the business permits, correct? That's part of your purview there. So the state in general is doing better, correct?
Sure. And, and something else, another way we can look at the economy, or at least I kind of look at, is the real estate market. You're in real estate.
Yes, sir.
Last year Arkansas it may have been a record year, I'm not for sure, but it had one of the best years in the area of real estate that we've had in a very, very long time.
Yes, sir.
So when people are buying and selling houses, that also reflects how well the economy's doing. So, these are good times. If you want a job, you can find a job in Arkansas. I mean, there are people needing to hire folks. So, God is good to us, and but we need to, not squander it, if you will.
You got anything on your mind you want to ask the Secretary?
I do not.
Pretty fun to meet him.
Well, real quick, if we have time, I do want to mention the Gold Star Family Memorial.
Yeah.
We broke ground. That memorial will be completed in September. It's going to be on the west side of the Capitol.
It's called Gold Star?
The Gold Star Family Memorial. This is for the families who have veterans and have lost loved ones.
Yeah.
We recognize our veterans. We don't do it enough, but we do recognize our veterans to a degree. But sometimes the families are, forgotten about, and they sacrifice just as much.
Yeah, they sacrifice more, John. They sacrifice more. Yeah.
That's right.
So you're putting a memorial up on the grounds, on the Capitol grounds?
That's right. It's the funding was from private funds. The American Legion, Eddie Joe Williams, former Senator Eddie Joe Williams, has kind of really headed this. But they have to coordinate with us, and once it's completed, they hand the monument over to the state, being under the state capitol, under the Secretary of State. Of course, I'll be responsible for maintaining it throughout the years. But just wanted to let folks know that is underway. So when you come to the Capitol, you walk into the front, make sure you do go to the back side of the Capitol, which is the west side, and see there's memorials on the back side as well. So make sure you go over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's a great thing to do. Thank you.
So what else do we need to cover? What else we need to know? What do we need to hear from our Secretary of State this morning, John?
Well, we covered redistricting. Like I said,
and that
there's
comes
a lot
after
going
the
on.
census, is that correct?
Yeah.
That's right. Folks just kind of, I welcome them to be engaged in that process when that goes on.
Now, does that come
You know,
through? Who is that? That's a federal initiative that filters through the Secretary of State's on the state level? Question mark.
well, no, it's all up to us. I mean, this, you know, like I say, we do that. The federal government doesn't do anything but tell us where the bodies are after the U.S. Census.
They do the
And so,
physical counting, and then they tell you this is how many people you've got in this area. And then you redraw from that.
So now I remember getting the census pamphlets in the mail. Will they come out like 1st of January or what? And what's the time frame? Because, you know, people lay it on the table and it'll get mixed in with the old newspapers or magazines, you know.
You bet. It begins next year. Yeah, it'll begin in January for sure. Yeah, you get them in the mail, and I'm not sure that they make phone calls.
I've always just got the big thing in the mail to fill.
I know that they do mail outs, and then I know that they're looking for people, actual counters, people to go and knock on the doors, because I've seen the flyers. It's like $14, $15 an hour to go and be a census taker. So that may be an opportunity if you're looking for something to do. There may be an opportunity as well.
The Secretary, final thoughts. We'll let you have final thoughts and let you get back to your work day there at the Capitol building. Final thoughts, sir.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for having me on. I hate it that I'm going to miss the breakfast that we usually go have right after our interviews. But I just want, you know, Arkansans to know that it's an honor. I really appreciate this opportunity, and my door is always open. You know, this is a beautiful building. If they're ever in Little Rock, make sure you come by here. If you've never, you know, there's a lot of Arkansans who have never seen this building or never been in the building for sure. And we just, you know, and that's sad because we have folks from all over the world coming here. And many people, when they come here, they say this is one of the most beautiful capitals that they've ever seen. There are people who do capitol.
I think it's the only one that's a replica of the U.S. Capitol in Washington, smaller scale.
That's right. To my knowledge, I believe you are right. And so if we have folks from other countries and other parts of the nation coming here to look at this building, if you're in Arkansas, you need to come see your building. That's for sure.
You bet. Secretary of State John Thurston, thank you, sir, for your time. You're always welcome here in Mountain Home. Come on up sometime.
Thank you, John.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. Time for a break. We'll be right back.
Sure, all mowers cut grass, but only a Ferris mower with suspension technology can provide you with increased productivity, quality of cut, durability, and comfort. The caster wheels and cutting deck are connected to the frame beneath the suspension. This lets the deck follow the wheels as they move up and down in relation to the ground contours. Maintaining the distance between the deck and the ground results in a beautiful, consistent cut. Visit your local Ferris dealer to experience the difference suspension makes.
Hi, we're Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, and we'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z Team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z Team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiretoarkansas.net.
It takes the right gear to survive out here. Oh, there she is. Ferris. It's the best gear around. Strong as an ox, safe as houses. Out back, there's one powerful beast. Awesome. Four-wheel suspension, handles whatever Mother Nature throws at you. Designed to take the hard out of hard work and deliver all the power you could need. So if you want to tackle the great outdoors, get yourself a Ferris.
I was involved in a wreck on the interstate. A friend and I was rear-ended by a drunk driver, and I was in excruciating pain. I started the chiropractor care along with the massage therapy, and it has totally transformed my world. With God's help and the help of them, I have totally got my life back together, and I'm free of pain medicine, and I'm so grateful that I am where I need to be today.
If you
That's coming up on 7:55. We'll close out the show with Bob Zadora and Mia Batterton. And so what'd you think? Talking to the Secretary of State. Pretty good.
That was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Then tomorrow we've got Chief Justice of the Arkansas Supreme Court, John Dankemp. The Honorable John Dankemp will be here along with Associate Justice Sean Womack.
Turn her microphone a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Pull it right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll be talking with them. You'll be back here tomorrow? Good.
It was good. He covered a variety of subjects, things that people ask about, that people need to know about, as far as security of the elections.
Yeah.
And I think that that's important for people to understand that, you know. And he was right about not just taking things at face value.
Yeah.
And investigate a little bit on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, because you get people on both sides that can run with the ball and go say some things that are like, really?
You know, when you're talking about interfering with the elections, you know, and we've seen the election commissions in Baxter County and Marion County and all around, and you see, you know, they plug in the device, you do your voting, they pull it out. You think, how can the Russians break into that thing when they hold the module in their hand?
Well, see, well, they can't here, but other states, they're all online.
They're all online.
And as soon as you break into the internet, once you're on a little bit of the internet, you're on all the internet.
You know, yeah.
And so that's where the problem was with that. And they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do. But if Arkansas is unique as far as our size in the number of actual ballots. If you're in Illinois, New York, California, New Jersey, where you have large amounts of voters, that's a different issue. And in order to get those ballots counted,
right,
and to make sure that people are registered, are voting in the right places and things like that, they have to be connected to each other. There's just no way around it. That's the problem.
Being you're going to be a sophomore in high school, what young people your age, what goes through your mind politically? What's your main concern right now?
I think everyone's getting ready for the election. I know there's a lot of debates that happen like before the election happens. Most people don't really talk about politics at school since it's such a touchy subject.
Mm-hmm.
I know history teachers stray away from it as long as it's the present and not the past. So I think educating us in more of the present times and the past times would help us.
Did you hear that?
No. But I think that if we had more of he's right, more of an economic base, that people understood the economics of things, and have more of a civics part of the class curriculum, to just be more aware of what goes into getting things done. It's not just saying, well, we're going to be able to do this, we're going to do that. Okay, well, yeah, you can, but there's a process for what goes on, and I think that's the best for checks and balances as well.
That are students in high school with Joe Biden saying, I'm going to cure cancer if I'm elected president. Come on,
you know that's just huff and puff. That doesn't.
And then you got Bernie Sanders out there trying to eliminate student debt. What about home loans?
Well,
I mean,
that's just a part of the huff and puff. That's what they do.
But how many people buy into that? Say, oh, if Bernie Sanders is president, then I can pay off my school loan.
I don't think many people believe that.
I hope you're correct. So, you know, in economics, I don't know if you pay much attention to gasoline prices, but when I was...
when he was a kid, gasoline was like still in the ground. It was still a dinosaurs walking around making the gasoline.
Where we're saying, yeah, it's down to $2.14.
This cost me 2 buckets of horse feed to get
You could, when I was your age, you could take your mom's car, your grandmother's car, and your dad's truck and fill all three up and not spend $12.
That is insane.
Yep. Yeah. That's how it was.
But that's what it was. But there was no inflation. Also, people got paid, like $2 an hour. So there's a difference. There's a difference in the whole thing. You got to look at the whole economy, not just.
I remember my mom getting in the car one night. We lived in Southern Illinois. Mom, and we had a family of 5. Groceries were $23 this week.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
I went and got milk, bread, peanut butter, and jelly and spent that yesterday, you know. And so, we've got a different factor here. We've got about 45 seconds. Final thoughts.
Just
let's check the river.
Oh, you can see how it's doing. That'd be a good idea.
No, you can't.
Oh,
the river's still there.
Dear Santa, Bob needs a big fan.
No, you can't.
Tomorrow we have the Chief Justice of the Arkansas Supreme Court, the Honorable John Dankemp, along with Associate Justice Sean Womack will be here, and we'll have a breakfast at Old Time Restaurant. Folks are welcome to come down and meet both the Chief Justice and the Associate Justice. And with that, we'll wish you a happy day. Thanks for being here, Bob and Mia.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.
All right.